What's up, everybody? It's Mr. Straight Facts. I want you guys to understand something. I made a video a few days ago, you can check it out, about George Stephanopoulos. You've seen this man do interviews of people that like Trump, that are Republicans or MAGA, and once they give him an answer, he may not like it. He may have a rebuttal question, but he doesn't go in on the same question 5, 6, 7 times or 22 minutes, right? So I knew something was kind of weird by this interview. And then TMZ caught him on the street, or at least they bought the video from somebody who was on the street that was recording.
Hey, excuse me. Hey, how you doing? Good. What do you think? Do you think Biden should step down? You talk to him more than anybody else have lately, and you could be honest. You don't think he can serve 4 more years?
Now, this is huge. See, most people just think he just gave his opinion, but no. The interview that he gave and the information he just divulged to this man were work product, because he's not hanging around Joe Biden on just any given day. His response to all of that is based on the interview he just gave, which is owned by ABC, which he is an employee of. It wasn't his own podcast. It was ABC. That's why ABC came out immediately and denounced that that's not us, that's his opinion. Because if anybody gets sued, it's on George Stephanopoulos, right? So his journalistic integrity was challenged just right there. Because you understand something. For people to give you an interview, they really have to believe that you are an arbiter of truth and that you're not trying to do any gotcha stuff and you're not going to put in your personal feelings, so to speak. You're just going to ask the questions that you think your people and your viewers want to know, right? So he asked those questions. It seemed a little off because the president was like, George, these hypotheticals, these if statements, man. So after that interview, it came out that Joe Biden had no issues whatsoever from his doctor, which they already knew that from the document that was released in February. And none of these news stations came out and said, oops, we messed up. No, they just kept it moving as if they didn't spend days trying to make it seem as though this man had Parkinson's. So the information they have about Joe Biden is because he released it. By the way, Donald Trump never released one of them. No, you don't have any respect or integrity for him for bringing back some transparency to the office, some decency to the office. No, you're over here trying your best to destroy the man that brought us to the dance. If anything Americans don't like is disloyal people. And the thing is, it's not about loyalty to him, it's loyalty to the truth. You didn't have any facts. If you had facts about him, we want you to be loyal to the facts. Tell us what happened. But you didn't have anything. You just have a bunch of ideas or hypotheses. And you can't make news off of that. At least you shouldn't. And so what? He got caught up, literally telling you what he truly felt on the street. ABC denounced him really quick. And that's why George came out and apologized. Because people just think, oh, it's just his opinion. He can say that. No, he can't. Because he was at work when he got said information. And the guy was asking him, based on your work information, what do you think? Because you got close to him and interviewed him. That right there is privileged work information. Anything that happens behind the scenes, if I seen him trip, if I seen him do certain things, if he coughed or he fainted or he didn't do this or that, if it's not on the record, you can't mention that. Not as a journalist. You just can't. But see, none of those things happen. He already had a preconceived notion. You can hear it in his questioning and how he wouldn't accept any of the answers that he was getting from our president. Total disrespect. And then he goes on the street and tells you how he really feels. Immense disrespect. And now we're supposed to trust you if you come back on the air and tell us one thing or the other? I need to hear your TMZ response instead of your news response, because which one is more factual? Seeing as how you're supposed to be an arbiter and a seeker of facts as a journalist. I call bullshit. And anybody who sees this video and that interview you did, George Stephanopoulos, realize that your journalistic integrity is trash. ABC, do what you want to do. But as a person who watches it, I'm not watching them anymore. Because I want my journalists to be arbiters of fact, not their feelings. And that interview told me he had a certain feeling. He wasn't seeking fact. He was seeking answers to what he already felt. And seeing as how he wasn't getting it, he kept asking it over and over again. Then we see him out on the street and we hear how he really feels. If you really felt he could not be president again, why did you interview him? And why weren't you fairly interviewing him? In other words, maybe I was wrong with my assumptions. And from what I saw on that interview, you would have been wrong. Because to me, he knew exactly what you was doing. Very cognizant of how you were asking the same damn question over and over again. And he also looked at you like, what are you doing? We have a lot of time here and you're just going in circles. In all honesty, he showed that you were the one that had some kind of cognitive issue. Once he recognized what you were doing, he's like, George, I mean, what is this? This is supposed to be journalism. You're acting as if you're on Joe Rogan, a podcast or something. I thought you were a journalist and you got butthurt about that. Well, it's not hypothetical anymore. Yes, it was. And you got called out. And now we know that you're not a journalist at all. You pretended like you were, but you can't tell me a journalist goes and asks questions and only wants the answers in which you already believe. If that's what you call journalism, you can keep it. Nobody else wants it but you. I speak facts, straight facts, no chaser. Fuck your feelings.